you are not behind. About 9 years ago, my family relocated to the United States. It was a new beginning, but it also marked a significant pause in my career, a 4-year pause. During that time, it felt as though the entire world was speeding ahead, leaving me behind. But now, looking back, I asked myself, whose clock was I looking at? Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Buki. 17 years ago, I moved from my home country, first to the United Kingdom and later to the United States. In that time, I've navigated the challenges of settling into new places, restarting my career, learning new skills, making new friends, rebuilding my life, home, and community. During my career break, one thought that constantly plagued my mind was that I was behind. I felt like everyone around me was moving ahead while I was standing still. I was in what you'd call a waiting season. The waiting season, as I came to realize, often gives rise to this feeling of being left behind. Whether it's waiting for that dream job, a change in work status, waiting for a baby, financial stability, finding the right partner, a breakthrough, or the next big opportunity. It feels like you're standing still while life moves on. So where does the idea of being behind in life come from? The feeling of being behind comes from different influences. While some are internal, the majority of them are external influences. Top the list is societal expectations. There are subtle societal pressures that suggest there's a specific timeline for achieving certain milestones like finishing school, landing a dream job, getting married, or buying a house. And when our journey doesn't align with that timeline, it's easy to feel like we're falling behind. Next up are cultural and family expectations. If you're from the part of the world where I'm from originally, you know what I'm talking about. I got married just before my 29th birthday, and that was considered late. I avoided attending weddings with my parents because I'd often hear them saying to each other, Buki is older than the bride, right? As though it was my fault the guys showing up weren't ready or good fit. People around us have rigid ideas of what success should look like. And when we haven't reached those markers, it can feel like a failure. Then there's the culture of comparison. And this is amplified by social media. We're constantly exposed to highlight reels of people who seem to be achieving so much more. And they're often younger, and it seems as if they're achieving it faster. But what we see online is rarely the full story. It's a curated version of reality that hides the struggles, setbacks, and the hard work behind the scenes. And this can create the illusion that we should be further ahead, even though deep down we know that everyone's life unfolds at its own pace and that real success takes time. Financial struggles can also amplify that sense of lagging behind. I remember turning 40 3 years into my career break and feeling behind. My husband and I, both educated with master's degrees, but living on one income, renting a house, and unable to afford the luxuries that come with a dual income household. It was hard watching my friends land new jobs, buy homes, and upgrade their lives while we were still trying to make ends meet. The fear of missing out was real, and it felt like life was moving forward for everyone else while I remained stuck in place. And there's internal pressure. I had set lofty goals for myself, like visiting a certain number of countries or achieving specific milestones by the age of 40. And when those ambitions weren't met within the time frame I had imagined, I felt like I was falling behind. But here's the truth. You're not behind. Life is not a race. Your path is uniquely yours, and it's time to embrace the beauty of that. Recognizing this truth was key for me. I had to consciously shift away from the "you are behind" mindset to find peace in my own pace. Two of the most powerful practices that helped me were gratitude and contentment. Gratitude doesn't erase the challenges, but it shifts the focus. At first, I was consumed by what I didn't have: the career, the financial freedom, the milestones that seemed to be slipping away. But over time, I began to focus on what I did have and what I had accomplished. This shift in perspective helped me appreciate my journey and find fulfillment in the present. When we focus only on the hardest parts of our season, we lose sight of the blessings that are still present. I started listing the things I was thankful for each day, and that simple act transformed my mindset. Suddenly, instead of feeling stuck, I realized how much I had to be grateful for, even in the midst of the uncertainty, in the midst of the challenges. That's when the pressure of what others were doing faded, and I found more contentment with where I was. Don't get me wrong, contentment doesn't mean giving up on your goals or settling for less. It's about finding peace in where you are right now. Someone once said, contentment isn't when we have enough, it's when what we have is enough. I learned to appreciate my own journey, even if it didn't match what I'd imagined or what society seemed to expect. Contentment freed me from the comparison trap. My life didn't have to look like the Jones to be valuable and fulfilling. I learned to let go of the pressure and embrace my unique journey, trusting that I was exactly where I needed to be. These two practices, gratitude and contentment, became the foundation for my moving forward. You're not behind. Life is a journey filled with twists and turns, ups and downs. Don't let your present season steal the joys of the present. The challenges, the waiting, the uncertainty, they are all part of the process. 2 Peter 3:9 reminds us, the Lord is not slow in keeping his promises, as some understand slowness. This means that God's timing is perfect even when it doesn't match ours. Just because something hasn't happened yet doesn't mean it won't. In Joel 2:25, he promises, I will restore to you the years that the swarming locust has eaten, the years that feels wasted, unproductive, or delayed. God can redeem and use them for your good. Nothing is truly lost when placed in his hands. Every step of your journey, even the ones that feel like detours or delays, serves a purpose. God restores not only the lost years, but multiplies the blessing when it finally comes. Isaiah 61:7 says, instead of your shame, you will receive a double portion, and instead of disgrace, you will rejoice in your inheritance. You will inherit a double portion in your land, and everlasting joy will be yours. Romans 8:28 beautifully captures this. So we are convinced that every detail of our lives is continually woven together for good, for we are his lovers who have been called to fulfill his designed purpose. Even when life feels off track, God is weaving everything together for your benefit. In those moments when you feel stuck or behind, remember, there's joy to be found here, even amidst the challenges. Trust that God is not slow and he's working everything out for your good. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord in Jeremiah 29:11. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. So embrace this season. Stay patient. Stay hopeful. God's promises are never late. They arrive right on time. Make sure to check out the video on embracing who you are. You're not behind. I'm cheering you on. Bye.